live? Are we live? Let's see. Is it laggy today? Come on, no lag today. Looks like there's a little bit of lag today. Fuck. Well. Well, let's get started. Guess we'll have a. Hopefully the signal will clear up. I don't quite understand. It was working yesterday. Anyway, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Chris Legaspi. Today is day 4? Day 4 of my daily head drawing challenge. So I'm going to do my daily drawing today for the October head drawing challenge. I'm going to do another set of 10-minute poses. So I'm going to do timed poses for the first week of my challenge. And we're going to be using reference from drawthis.com. And if you still want to join the challenge is still open. You can still qualify for the prizes and giveaways. And if you want to learn more, you can go to drawwithchris.com/headdrawingchallenge. And we have structured challenges, prizes, giveaways, and also I've created a head drawing quick start course. So this is a 7-day mini course. You'll get a new lesson sent to you directly by email every day for 7 days. This includes videos, handouts, and each lesson covers a different topic on head drawing to help you take this challenge and to get better at drawing. And this mini course is free, so you just have to enter your email and you can get access right away. You'll get the first lesson sent to you directly by email. So drawwithchris.com/headdrawingchallenge. You can read more about that there. And I want to give a shout out to the Facebook group. So if you want to keep track of your work, you can join us on Facebook here. Let's take a look at some of the posts. Wow. Some beautiful drawings here. Adrian, thank you. Adhumita, forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Oh, that's a beautiful little tonal drawing. Wow, look at these nice 5-minute poses by Abraham. Oliver here. Look at Oliver practicing his construction work. That's great. I believe he's drawn the model I'm going to draw today. There's a couple of people doing the Masters Challenge. I see some Zorns. Really nice work there. Chintu. And wow, it's a beautiful little tone drawing by Punta. I love the brow structure there, really solid. Oh, this is a Sergeant. Really nice job by Chuha. Yeah, whenever I look through this post, and forgive me if I can't reply to everybody, but I do see your work. I really appreciate it. Bart here doing some time poses. So yeah, even if you don't join the challenge and you just want to draw with the community, you can join us here. This Facebook group is going to be open for about another month. I haven't decided when to close the October challenge, but I will extend it past October. So you can join us for, join the community, help you stay motivated and support each other. So you can read all about that on the website there. All right, so let's get started today. There might be a little lag, so sorry about that. And I do appreciate your comments. I will make sure to grab your comments at the end of the... Lots of comments there. Thank you. Okay, let's see. So today we do 10-minute poses here. And this drawing here is from last week. One of the prizes I'm giving away for selected winners, if you complete all 31 days. I know it's a massive task. One of the prizes, I'm giving away original art. So that's a pretty cool incentive there. All right, so I'm going to set my timer to 10 minutes here. And 10 seconds. Okay, 11 seconds. And I'm using a little gel pen. So if you're watching me for the first time, if you just joined us, comment below. Where are you located? Where are you watching from? What time is it for you? I'm currently in Thailand at the moment. I'm an American, but I live in Thailand, and it's Sunday for me, 9 p.m. If you just joined us, I'm doing a time pose drawing, and this is a 10-minute pose from reference. The reference is from Draw This Calm. Draw This Calm is they have some wonderful live streams that yes, it is erasable pen. Pretty neat, huh? It's not fully erasable, but it does the job. Draw This Calm, they have some free model streams on their website. It's really nice. And what I like about them is they actually record a model on video, so it's really close to the real thing. The whole purpose of the time pose is to encourage you to go to a life drawing, but we know a lot of us can't go or don't have access to it. So photo is the next best thing, obviously. In my I teach a 4-week online class now, and we spent a couple of weeks on drawing head turns. So the head looking up is it's arguably the most difficult position to draw the face in, especially those dramatic ones. So they just take a lot of skill and a lot of practice and some good fundamentals. So that's one of the things that we covered in class in detail. And the students got some good results. I'm going to share some student work pretty soon. It's really impressive what they're able to do with the difficult poses. They make it look easy, those guys, because I know it's not easy. Interesting lighting here. It's a little bit coming from beneath. In fact, it is coming from beneath. It's coming from this way. Coming from that way. Okay. So I'm going to... this reference is very small for me on my screen here. So I'm like, what's happening here? See, this is one of the things that I talked about in class too, was when you're shading something, you're like, okay, I have no idea what, I can't really fully interpret what I see. So now what I do is I draw from what I know. You see this section, guys? I don't know if you can see the reference. I know it's kind of small on screen, but there's a lot of ambiguity here. This is not clear. What's core shadow, what's shadow side, what's light side, what's halftone, top plane, whatever, right? So now I'm going to pretty much draw from my own knowledge now. I'm going to use what I see up there as sort of a milestone. Okay, I got to show a male mouth with light in this direction, you know. So so this is where knowledge comes in. So a lot of times people assume observation drawing is just, well, you just kind of copy what you see, but the real way, at least from what I found and what my teachers taught me, is to use the life drawing, to use reference, to draw from what you know. Draw from what you know. Use the reference as a springboard, as a starting point, as maybe a guide. So I'm going to run out of time here. Try to clear that area up. But I'm not too concerned because I know that what's more important is the overall right now I have 1 minute, right? I know most important thing is I got to show the overall light and shadow effect, meaning I got to show the overall shadow shape and a little bit of the edge variation needed to suggest what forms we're looking at. So I basically have to fully define this shadow pattern here. So this is tough. This pose is tough. It's going to take a lot of skill, a lot of practice, a lot of understanding, a lot of repetition. You have to draw and see a lot of these. You have to see somebody more experienced handle it. That's what I would do. That's where the master copies comes in. Whenever you are really confused about something. Okay, let me just address this because right now my reference is so small I can't see it. Okay, so I just enlarged my reference. Hopefully it doesn't cover your screen too much. So I know this is a time pose, but I just want to do a quick break for teaching. This is a teaching moment here. So this pen erases, luckily. So in a lot of ways, this I even turned up the contrast in this reference. So what's going on here? What's going on here? It's not clear based on the reference that I have. So now I got to draw from what I know. And what do I know? Well, there's the lips are here. And around the mouth and lips is a set of muscles called the oris, orbicularis oris. There's another set of muscles that goes up here. I forgot what they're called. There's a cheekbone and some muscles there that creates that common plane definition that we all know. So that's where that comes in. So now I got to decide how much okay, I got it. How much of the how much of this group of muscles and fat and skin do I want to suggest in my drawing? Okay. So that's one of those things. I'm going to get back to the this is one of those things where if I was a real model, I wouldn't have time to do this. I would do this at home probably. So this is one of those opportunities where it's like, okay, it'd be a good opportunity to go home and open your anatomy textbook, get out your 3D models, whatever you have from home, whatever reference you have, and examine this area. I would do a tracing. Maybe I should do that on another stream. Do a tracing and see what's happening underneath there. So just a way to drill the knowledge. One way to learn anatomy is repetition. So repetition, you study anatomy, and then you look at a model, and then you go back to the textbook, and then you study anatomy from the textbook. Maybe you copy the diagrams. And then you look at a model again, and you just go back and forth. And then you have to review from time to time. Even the great anatomists that I know, guys like Charles Hugh and Professor Art here in Thailand. They have to review anatomy all the time. Okay, let's go on to the next pose. And also too, because the shadow area is quite soft, I will have to define that value with a different tool. This pen is not the best tool for that kind of edge. Specifically not that kind of edge. Okay, let's do another 10-minute pose here. This will be the last pose for today. So if you just joined us, we're doing some timed poses here. Thank you for joining me today. This will be a 10-minute pose. The reference is from drawthis.com. So if you're watching me and if you're watching live on replay, and maybe you've already started the challenge, how are you doing so far? Which challenge are you doing right now? Are you doing time poses? Are you doing anatomy? What have you learned so far? Comment below. What have you learned so far about drawing every day? Have you noticed any difference in yourself? Or maybe you already have a daily drawing routine. That's great. Okay, there's something wrong with that mouth there. I think looking back, this is it's not the best pen. Not the best pen for this because the lighting is too soft. This is not a soft tool by any means. This is a rough. Well, this is actually a writing tool, really. That's what it's meant for. So it produces very direct, hard marks. Not the greatest tool for subtlety, that's for sure. So what have you learned so far? Comment below. I know a lot of you have sent me messages. I do read them all. Sorry I don't get to reply, but thank you for that. I have seen all of your posts. I really appreciate all the Facebook posts and the comments and messages on social media there. I got a really nice message from someone. They told me they, even just after 3 days, they already see a difference in their work. You know, that's really good. I think, it helps to have some kind of common goal in the community. That's kind of the purpose of this challenge, is to give us something to aim for the month of October. It's like anything you want to improve in life. You gotta put in some hours. So sometimes it's nice to have a clear goal and direction, and that's what these challenges and these contests can do for you. I always encourage my students to enter contests art contests, online contests, competitions. It gives you something to aim for. Even me, to be honest, I don't put my personal drawing at a priority at the moment. I've been kind of in this work mode. I've been fortunate. I've gotten a lot of movie work from the Hollywood agencies after a long break. So I've been very fortunate to be doing some poster work, which does take up quite a bit of time. And then I started online teaching, so I have to make sure my students are taken care of. So that takes so that's some that's another excuse not to draw for myself there. So this challenge is is good for me too. It forces me to sit down and do this. I've been really enjoying. Excuse me, it's my pencil sharpener. I've been really enjoying the skull studies and master drawings I've been seeing in the Facebook group. It really makes me want to jump onto skulls there. And touch up on my anatomy. Anatomy is something you have to review. Constantly review. So I'm looking forward. After I'm going to do 7 days of time poses. Then I'm going to do 7 days of anatomy. And then I'm going to do 7 days of Master's Challenge. I'm looking forward to doing some Velasquez and Dean Cornwell. I've been meaning to do some Dean Cornwell head copies for a long time. And Master's copies is, in my mind, it's the fastest way to learn anything. Well, if you, the fastest way to learn something is to have a mentor, have someone that's years ahead of you, someone who's accomplished what you want to accomplish, whose work that you want to look like. So if you can have like a mentor to spend time with, that's how you speed up your learning curve, and you can get really good really fast. But the second best thing is to have sort of a virtual mentor. So use so you can study someone's work by copying their work. You can have a Sargent or a Rembrandt be your mentor. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so I pretty much established what I need to establish, and now I'm just going to sort of refine my idea. That's really all you can do. once in a time pose and you got a little bit more time, there's a number of things you can do, but what I like to do is just keep refining the forms. It may look like this is like shading techniques, which it is, but what I'm really doing is drawing with tone. I'm using the tone to make subtle forms and to make my marks, and I'm using instead of my pen, I'm using the tone of the paper, the pencil, the side of the pencil. Okay, we're about ready to run out of time. Time is up. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream here. Let me quickly jump on the questions here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where am I here? Okay, wow. Oh, there's a lot of comments here. All right, so thank you for joining me live. We just finished the 10-minute head time poses. Hello, Lizzie from Brazil. Hello. New to the channel, 13. Wow, nice to meet you. Thank you. Nikita from India. I'm new to the channel, speak English, great. Oh, Lizzie's from Brazil, hello. Thank you, Lizzie, for the comments. Oh, Professor Art is here. Professor Art from Thailand. Benedict, hello from France. I missed the start, but I'm on day 4. Great. Really struggle using ink, but can't figure out the side direction for my hatching. Any tips? Oh, that's a great tip. That's a great question. Hatching for, well, there's really 2 ways. Dina asked a good question. Dina Kahlo. What direction should I hatch? Well, you can either go with the form or against the form. Let me just do a quick little demonstration for Dina here. Since, so you have a form, right? Say you have a face, right? You have a face. And you have a shadow. So you can either, this might be easier. You can either go this way along the form, or you can go this way. Now, this way along the form, thank God I can draw and don't have to write with pencil. Along, that says along and against. So you can either go along the form. So along the form gives you smoother tones, softer tones, and speed. So if you want something to look fast, long, soft, go along the form. Now, against the form has some advantage because it gives you more volume, more structure. Because what it does is it pulls your eye this way. You see that? This one pulls your eye this way. This one pulls your eye this way, right? Each mark is an arrow. So when you go against the form, you're creating a lot of tension and you're creating a lot of form. But the advantage of that is it also gives you texture. See, it gives you a little bit of texture there. So it depends on where you are. If you're on the cheek, for example, and let's say you're on the cheek, but it's a male. Let's say it's a young female. It's on the cheek. Maybe you want to go along the form, right? Softer, more subtle. But maybe if it's a male, I don't know, maybe you're drawing like a superhero or something, or an action hero. Maybe you go against the form. And against the form also helps you to model. So if you want to demonstrate the soft curve of the cylinder, right, you could go against the form. Versus if you want to make the cylinder feel like it's turning, then you can go along the form. So it depends. The short answer is, I'm sorry, who was that asked that question? With or against? I lost my place here. Where are you? I lost you. Well, anyway, whoever asked that question, it depends on what you want. Okay, so oh, Dina. I just saw Jeff. Oh, yeah, Jeff is great. It covered the screen. I don't know what that means. What makes likeness when it comes to drawing a face? I don't know. Model screen is covering the drawing. Model screen is covering the drawing. Was it? Oh, it was. Sorry. You have to slide it. Yeah. You have any long pencil tips? Don't you like long pencil tips? Mr. Bohr asks. Yeah, sorry about the screen. Yeah, sorry about the screen, guys. Mr. Bohr asked, do you like long pencil tips? Yeah, from time to time. As long as yourself will never be lonely. Okay, anatomy design. Oh my God, there's a lot of comments here. Art says, anatomy can design appropriate for art, yes. Andrew Zorn, yes. Bart asks what erasable pen you're using. It's called Pilot Friction. Pilot Friction. Oh, I should type it here. Pilot Friction pen. Mr. Bohr says, okay, Watts, yes. Lemon, Kevin Chen, yes. I studied with Kevin. How does golden ratio effective portrait. I don't really, I, I don't really do that. Do you always measure proportion? I did, yeah, but now I can kind of eyeball it. You know, a lot of the base issue with not measuring correctly. I try to go back to grids. Any tips on measuring without grids? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't use the grid at all. Um, I don't use the grid at all, actually. Driven to Draw asks, do you have any tips for measuring proportion without grid? I just do the way I was taught was kind of a shorthand of the European academic version, um, sort of a sight sizing way. I use the pencil to measure, where you hold your hand out with the pencil. You do this kind of thing, but you hold your hand out and you kind of measure with your pencil. That's one way to do it. The lips I draw too flat. Any tips? Oh yeah, flat lips are usually people draw flat lips because they draw them on a flat plane. But lips aren't flat at all; they actually curve. So what I would do is start to draw lips on a curve, and I would exaggerate that. I would exaggerate that. Also, shading direction deforms an issue at times for me. Meaning, mean direction of hatch lines. Yeah, you know, for me, it's all intuitive. I go, my driven to draw. Ask another question about hatching. Um, the direction. My number one default is along the form. It's because I need to communicate form first, and then I will go against the form when it's I feel that it suits it. But that's a long discussion. Dum, 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 dum. Any tips on how to learn stylized art coming from realistic background? Yeah, one thing you could do. Kamira asks how to do stylized art coming from realist background. Well, I would invent. That's what I would do. I would draw from imagination as much as possible, and I would watch cartoons, and I would watch, watch cartoons and movies that you like that have an art style you like. One of the things, one of the things that inspired me to draw was Street Fighter. So I just copied the hell out of Street Fighter drawings. And then the second thing that really inspired me was Batman Beyond, Bruce Timm Batman. So I just copied the hell out of their drawings. Caught as the muscles of the butt seem not to be enough to describe that shape of human butt. What's going on there? I mean, it's fat, but that's a long question. Maybe if we do a figure next month or so. I find that once the eyes are measured correctly, the drawing is toast. Yeah, I find the rule of halves is the most accurate, and the thirds. In terms of proportion, if I can get this line right, where the eyes line up and where the center of the face is, if I can get that, because what's more important to me than proportion is the angle, and then the location of the ear relative to the eyes. If I can get these three things right, man, you're pretty good. And then these also help, these rule of thirds, but that's all. They vary so much per person. Measuring using only eyes. The mass there is no info on it. Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, that's true. There's no. It varies per person. Caught asked about drawing butts. Ace said, thank you. Thanks for the answer. Driven to draw. Yes. All right. So thank you guys for all the comments. Sorry I had to cover up that drawing there. But tomorrow I'll be streaming at the same time every day this month. Every day this month. Tomorrow I'll be streaming at this time. And I will also email the schedule updates to my email list, so you can subscribe to my email list on my website, drawwithchris.com/subscribe. And if you want the quick start course, if you're new to me and you want um, to take my free mini course, it's a 7-day course with videos and handouts. You can sign up for that at drawwithchris.com/head drawing challenge. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I really appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. Till I'll see you tomorrow. And make sure also see you guys online. Join us in the Facebook group. Until next time, take care.